Jumpin In on Manx Radio.
With Howard and Chris Kane.
Hello.
Good evening.
And welcome. And here we are, all loved up. It is on a Saturday night here on Manx Radio, 9 o'clock. Jumping in, the best in modern and contemporary jazz. But we have a special for you because it is the week of love.
Yes. Welcome along to all you young lovers out there, and indeed old lovers too. And it's that time of the year. And I don't mean your tax year end, although that can get you hot under the collar as well, but I mean it's Valentine's Day next Tuesday, when all over the world the romantic gift the other halves. In Japan, for example, you'd find it's ladies who buy the chocolates and flowers for the men. And why not? Tradition we could start over here. There's also an old English tradition of placing bay leaves in each corner of your beloved's pillow on the night of the 13th, which is meant to bring the dozing darling sweet dreams of their future life partner. I tried it a couple of years ago. I don't remember if it worked exactly, but I do remember my wife made a delicious chicken soup the following day. Whichever way you choose to celebrate, let's bring some jazzy enticement to get you in the mood. So, H, what's been lighting your fire this week and putting the fizz in your speakers, or have you been left limp as a lettuce by a dearth of cold choruses?
I wouldn't like to say realistically. We'll be thinking about almost being in love with a Brad Meldo. We'll be very in love with Helga, and we'll be loving me tender with Jacob.
And with me, we fool, we look, we sing, we chance, and for all you swingers out there, here's a chance to get off to a swinging start from Eddie Harris, who has Love for Sale. I hope that's put you in some sort of mood. Probably warmed you up a little bit. Eddie Harris and his band storming through a great hard bop version there of the Cole Porter classic Love for Sale from his 1965 album The In Sound. There's many great versions of this song to choose from, of course, but that has always been a particular favourite of mine, and I love that great chorus. You know the bit I mean. Anyway.
Got it.
Yeah, just about right. And with a band like that, it'd be very hard to do any wrong. Cedar Walton on piano, Roy Codrington on trumpet, Ron Carter on the bass, Billy Higgins at the drums, and of course the great Eddie Harris on sax. And it's also available as a twofer if you're still collecting real albums, with the equally wonderful Mean Greens.
Terrific stuff. Great way to get going for this love special in the week of love. I know it's not Valentine's night, but, we're on a Saturday night and this is probably close. It's nice to do it beforehand and get you in the mood rather than afterwards when you might be spent, as they say. Elvis Presley, Jacob Bro, what could go wrong? Loving that, actually, if you'll excuse the pun. Love Me Tender, of course, made famous by Elvis Presley, played there by Jacob Bro from his album Who Said Gay Paris from 2008, I think that was. Who Said Gay Paris, I think in itself is a Cole Porter number and features on the album as well. But yeah, lovely that. Love Me Tender. Slowing things down a bit for this love special for Valentine's week here on Jumpin' In. Jacob Bro still going strong, played with Paul Motion, played with, well, you name it. Some cracking albums out as well under his own name, where he did 3 concept albums, which are worth seeking out, called things like Belonging and Hanging, and I can't remember now. I've got 1 or 2 of them, and some of the others I think are only available as downloads. Anders Christensen on bass there, Jacob Hoyer on the drums, and Jacob Bro on guitar.
Yeah, I don't remember. Can't remember now. That must be a good album. I'll look out for it. But next from me, a great Victor Young song introduced to the world back in 1949 on the film of the same name, given a unique treatment by Ralph Towner. Here's My Foolish Heart. Ralph Towner playing the standard My Foolish Heart in a way that only he could. Taken from his 2017 guitar solo album of the same name. Ralph said he took his inspiration from the famous Bill Evans recording with Scott LaFaro and Paul Motian. And like Ralph's rendering, love itself is delicate, like something precious to hold, but not to toss around casually.
No answer to that, as they say. We had a long chat with Ralph a year or so back, but it was a long one. We've never actually aired any of it because it shot off into all sorts of different directions about life in general and getting old and his memory and all sorts of stuff, which probably wouldn't actually fit into Jumping In here, but it was lovely talking to him. We recorded all of it. We keep trying to weed bits out of it, and at some stage we will broadcast that chat.
We kind of caught him on a back foot.
It went on for so long, yeah.
We did catch him on a back foot. He'd agreed that he was happy to do something, and then at the end of this set, which had been his first in London for quite a while, there was a huge queue of people, I think thinking this might be the last chance they'd get to see him, and they all had... he was trying to get a bite to eat after his show, bless him. He was obviously tired, and somebody turned up with about 20 albums, didn't they, and wanted them all signing.
Yeah. Oh,
he was very patient.
But he was very, very patient, and a lovely chap, and I'm glad he's still going. Although he said himself, it's getting harder and harder, and he's no spring chicken by his own admission anymore. You're listening to Jumping In, of course. It is our Valentine's Love special, and what's better than being in love? Or maybe almost like being in love. The ever-wonderful Brad Meldo in a more up-tempo track there, which is quite nice. Quite a lot of Brad stuff can be quite contemplative, particularly the Art of the Trio series he released back in the day. That's more recent, actually. Seymour Reads the Constitution was the album released in 2018. And, of course, the track was Almost Like Being in Love. Larry Grenadier on bass, as he has been, I think, throughout, as far as I remember, the Trio's lifetime. Jeff Ballard, who more recently replaced Jorge Rossi on the drums and brought perhaps a different dynamic to the group as well. But Jeff Ballard, who we saw quite recently actually on drums down at the Pizza Express at last year's LJF. Not with Brad, but can't remember who he was playing with. We had a quick word with him in any case. But always like that, and almost like being in love. Well, that's Valentine's for you.
Indeed it is. Now, I'm sure, slightly sad note, but just reflective really, that music lovers everywhere were saddened as we were to hear the passing of one of the world's most successful songsmiths earlier this week at the grand age of 97. Burt Bacharach had more hits, film scores, awards and cover versions than virtually anybody else, showing he was obviously doing something right. He said that something he learnt early on was never to discount a melody just because you could whistle it. Here's Stan Getz with The Look of Love. The Look of Love by Burt Bacharach and Hal David with the unmistakable saxophone of Stan Getz, taken from his album Stan Getz Plays the Music of Burt Bacharach and Hal David. And in fact, any of those, including all the originals, are absolutely worth a listen. Great songwriter, great writer of themes for many, many films and television and on and on. And I do apologise, he was 94, not 97, but a very good age nonetheless.
Once you get beyond 90, I think, do you stop counting? I don't know. I'll tell you if I ever get there. But you just think, once you're in your 90s, it's do a couple of years make any difference? The bizarre thing is, I was talking to someone the other day, we were talking about a person who, they were saying how there's more and more people who are in their hundreds now getting sort of care. And of course, they quite often have children. And a lot of their children, of course, are way in their 80s. You think, all of a sudden, the gap seems to get smaller and smaller, doesn't it? Very strange indeed. Your parents sort of, being in your 80s and still having your parents alive must be a strange sort of feeling, you would think, but there we go. Jumping in, Chris and H with our Valentine special. We haven't done any vocals, and I think I might try and see if I can put that right. I can see someone will be after a bit of the love time vocals. So how about Lover Man?
I don't know why, but I'm feeling so sad. I long to try something I never had. Never had no kissing. Oh, what I've been missing. Lover man, oh, where can you be? The night is cold and I'm all alone. I give my soul just to call you my own. Got a moon above me, but no one to love me. Lover man, oh, where can you be? I've heard it said that the thrill of romance can be like a heavenly dream. I go to bed with a prayer that you'll make love to me. Oh, strange as it seems, someday we'll meet and you'll dry all my tears, then whisper sweet little things in my ear, hugging and kissing. Oh, what I've been missing. Lover man, oh, where can you
You know, I'm not a great fan of jazz vocals per se. I don't know whether either of us are massive on them. The classics, I mean, you know, I do love, you can't go wrong with some Ella or with some Peggy Lee or with Billy, of course, and we've always loved the singing of Norma Winston with her sort of vocalese, and the likes of Karen Krogh working with John Sermon. But, you know, that one has grown on me over the years. Petra Hayden singing there, the album Windmills of Your Mind, the last album released by the great drummer Paul Motion on the Winter and Winter label in 2011. And as far as I can think, off the top of my head at least, someone will put me right, the only album I can think of where he, certainly in recent years, he did play for vocalists a lot in his younger years, but certainly in all his latter 20-odd years of recording, I don't recall him recording with any other vocalists. And it was the last album he did during his lifetime. Other albums have been released posthumously, but that was the last one when he was still alive. Long-time partner Bill Frisell on the guitar, of course. The great Thomas Morgan, who's got that really sort of academic, each note placed precisely in space sound, and he's done Frizzell's gone on to work with him quite a bit in recent times. A couple of cracking albums on ECM on there. And Petra Hayden taking the vocals. And if you're wondering, yes, indeed, it is the daughter of Charlie Hayden, the bassist, no stranger to working with Paul Motion. Got a great reception when it came out. And a lovely line I was just looking at as I was listening to that from Jazz Times' Colin Fleming. He said it was a set of pop standards with the deep, well-rounded luxuriousness of modern chamber music, elements of high romance. This is jazz as seduction music.
So whatever you're doing, you can put something else down and pick that up. You're talking about old ages before, and of course sweethearts can be any age. You put me in mind of a story that the noted diarist David Sedaris, noted diarist and humorist, told when he was on a jazz cruise with his partner, and he said we befriended a couple who'd explained they'd been sweethearts at childhood, and they were both in their late 90s. And as the cruise came to an end, it was a jazz cruise, funnily enough. As the cruise came to the end, we asked them what they were doing next. And they said, oh, we're going to go home and we're going to get a divorce. And they were quite shocked with this. They said, well, why are you getting divorced? They said, well, you know, we've just sort of drifted apart. The physical thing isn't like it used to be. And we've talked about it for a while, but we decided we'd wait until the children had died before we broke up. Anyway, next, something that I can heartily recommend to all lovers of piano jazz. It's the fantastic Norman Granz Sessions set of Oscar Peterson songbooks, etc., which is a mid-priced 10 CD set, yes, 10, that bears repeated listenings. Here he is with the 1938 Duke Ellington composition, I Let a Song Go Out of My Heart. Very, very good indeed. I Let a Song Go Out of My Heart, the classic Duke Ellington composition. And what can I say? Oscar Peterson, Lester Young, Ben Webster, Stan Getz, all getting fired up with Dizzy Gillespie thrown in for good measure, and a rare session with the unique Flip Phillips. Need I say any more?
I saw Flip Phillips, funnily enough, on a cruise one time. The one and
Oh,
only
the old
cruise
jazz
I've been
cruise.
on. Yeah. And Flip Phillips was playing there, and I think I got him to sign. I don't know if someone's picked it up, but I definitely got him to sign a record. I don't recall it was vinyl or CD for Dad. So it must be knocking around somewhere. Better keep our eyes open for it.
Keep our eyes open for
Wonderful
that.
stuff. Love special. It is Valentine's coming up, of course, and we're celebrating that here on Jumpin' In with all things lovey and romantic and modern jazzy. And what about this one then, slowing it down a wee bit. Helga Lien, So in Love.
Hi, I'm Zoe Rahman. You're listening to Jumping In on Manx Radio with Chris and H. Did I get that right?
There they go, a little bit of Toshiko Akiyoshi from one of her very first albums, I think. What is this thing called love? Before that, So In Love with Helga Lean and his trio from the album Little Radio.
Well, that's about it for this Valentine special. We've just got time to leave you with a new release from singer Joe Lurry. Acrobats is the name of the album. Joe's probably best known as a backing singer with Sting. However, she says jazz has always been her first love, and this new release certainly shows that she knows where her heart lies. And it takes a pretty brave singer to work in a trio when the rest of the trio are just bass and drums. Here she is, taking a chance on love. We'll blow you a kiss until next week.
Stay loved up indeed.
Bye for now.
Here I go again, I hear the trumpets blow again, all aglow again, taking a chance on love. Here I slide again, about to take that ride again, starry-eyed again, taking a chance on love. Thought the cards were a frame-up, I never would try. But now I'm taking a game up, and the ace of hearts is high. Things are mending now, I see a rainbow bending now. We'll have a happy ending now, taking a chance. I'm gonna make things hum again, acting dumb again, taking a chance on love. Here I stand. about to beat the band again. Feeling grand again, taking a chance on love. I never dreamed in my slumbers, and bets were taboo. But now I'm playing the numbers on a little dream for two. Waiting in again, I'm leading with my chin again. I'm starting out to win again, taking a chance on Here I slip again, about to take that tip again. I've got my grip again, taking a chance on love. Now I prove again that I can make life move again, in the groove again, taking a chance on love. I walk around with a horseshoe, in clover I lie. And brother rabbit, of course you better kiss your foot goodbye. On the ball again, I'm riding for a fall again. I'm gonna give my all again, taking a chance